Someone asked me, how come you don't see any Christian terrorists? Well, maybe you have to go to Iraq and look around and see all the death and devastation. Most of the people who did that were actually Christians. And a lot of people would consider those people Christian terrorists. More people die at the hands of quote-unquote Christian terrorists than Muslim terrorists. But we don't see them as terrorists. We see them as freedom fighters, just as they see their fighters as freedom fighters. Every man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. If we didn't have good reason to go in there, I'd think we were terrorists. Thank God we had our weapons of mass destruction. No. We're trying to make things right. Sure, we created a vacuum of death over there, but it was not intentional. It was not an act of terrorism. It was an act of gross ineptitude, covered up with a conspiracy wrapped in an enigma. 9/11. I've lost some friends over 9/11, the 9/11 dispute, because they're absolutely convinced that anybody who doesn't believe that 9/11 was an inside false flag operation, anybody who doesn't believe that is part of the problem. A Muslim even told me that Noam Chomsky was a liar and a traitor because he didn't believe that the 9/11 tragedy was a conspiracy and an inside job. What a shame after all Noam Chomsky's done. I don't personally believe 9/11 was an inside job. If Israel or any outside group other than Muslims had gotten together and orchestrated this elaborate plan where pilots who weren't pilots were flying jets into these buildings, and then when the jets hit the buildings, there would be a synchronized demolition. Imagine the detail and the planning that would have to go in for this wild plan. And with all that detail and all that money and all those lives lost, do you think the people who did it, if it was Israel, would have left behind a 20th hijacker? And if they left behind a 20th hijacker, what would he be saying? If Israel planned it, what would the 20th hijacker be saying? Would he be saying anything bad about Israel? Watch this clip. I hate to give you this clip because the guy who puts on this clip is David Duke. After watching this clip, do you still believe that 9/11 was a Jewish false flag operation? If you were the Jews, the Israelis, the Mossad, and you had planned 9/11, would you have left this behind? Would you have allowed this to happen to where there is an actual cover-up going on about this? Let me know what you think about this video, and does this video change your view about who did 9/11? Or does it solidify your view? Or does it have no impact on your view? I want to know what you think. I totally don't even believe anything I read anymore. You never know. I was just reading a newspaper. This guy was stuck under his house working on a water heater. He got his arm pinned, and he had to cut and chew his own arm off. Big news. The water heater company is going to give him a brand new water heater. He's like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Here's what they say. He's going to make a complete recovery. How can you make a complete recovery? It's gone. That's not right to say that. If he woke up in his room and he saw in the news that, oh, hey, he's going to make a complete recovery, well, and he saw his arm is gone, that's false advertising.